What's up, everybody? I stuck my finger in an electrical socket, and for today's episode, the MG34 machine gun. Let's get into it.
On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
Okay, so today we're going to be going over the MG34 machine gun in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, this gun, just like the Kar 98K, are World War II guns. So it is kind of cool that there are guns we can use in Modern Warfare that they actually did use in World War II. So that's kind of neat, I guess. It's not that great of a gun compared to some of the other ones, but let's get into it. Okay, so basically it's an LMG, so that always comes with slower ADS and slower movement speeds. Besides those faults of the gun, I have to say all around this gun is okay. It's not that bad by any means. 50 round drum, so that's not terrible. The recoil isn't too bad when you're at close range. It's a little jumpy. The iron sights aren't too bad except for the bar that you have coming up the side. That can kind of get a little distracting. It does have the slowest reload time imaginable though. At, I think it was 7.8 seconds, something around there. It's over 7 seconds. Just under 8 seconds. That is painfully slow, and the amount of times I've died just because you literally have to sit there reloading for 7 seconds, it's ridiculous. On top of that, the gun has a lot of good attachments for it. It has a lot of good attachments that can help this gun be a much better weapon. However, there are no amazing attachments that is going to make this a top tier weapon or even a weapon that works with the meta, which is strange because I would say the PKM actually does kind of work with the meta of this game. It is a really usable weapon, and I really do enjoy using the PKM. I don't really enjoy using the MG34 that much. There's just something about it that just can't compete with all of the other top tier weapons. However, it isn't as bad as the SA-87. That gun is just terrible and has no right being in a game whatsoever. But the MG34, not bad. If you do have to get it for Damascus, it's not going to be that troubling to do, but it's just not one of the good guns in the game. It's not that great. It's mildly moderate. And here's a class that I really found worked amazingly with this weapon. It didn't make it an amazing weapon, but it made my playing with it feel much more amazing than it did running around with no attachments for a couple games. That's going to be the FSS stubby barrel. That's really going to help with your ADS speed, movement speed. So I went ahead and attached that. I also have the tac laser on there for increased ADS speed with no drawback except for the laser being visible to enemies, but that's not bad at all. I did have an optic on there. I did have the GI mini reflex on there, but I do not anymore. As for the stock, the FSS close quarters stock is going to be the way to go. You can go no stock, but that actually does have the same decrease or increase to ADS speed. Decrease to ADS speed. It has the same change to ADS speed as the close quarters stock. All it does is make your recoil worse and make your movement speed better, but we already have the barrel for movement speed, so we don't need that much movement speed to where we're hurting our recoil. On top of that, I have the 75 round drum because 50 just was not enough, and I kept running out of ammunition before I would die, and then I'd die reloading, so I went ahead with the 75 round. I was going to increase it to 100 if I felt the need to, but I actually found it worked really well at 75. I could end up taking about 4 or 5 enemies out, get a bloodthirsty or something, and maybe get that going, and by then I would have to reload, probably end up dying, but I didn't want to hurt the movement speed too much. On top of that, I have the rubberized grip tape. I did have the stippled grip tape on there before for ADS speed, but I noticed that the recoil was getting a little shaky. That is why I switched to the close quarters stock from the no stock. It was still a little shaky. Took off the optic for the drum mag, which I still had a decent ADS speed, so I went ahead and sacrificed the stippled grip tape for the rubberized grip tape. Still have pretty good ADS speed due to the tac laser, FSS stubby, and the close quarters stock, so we are going to go ahead and help that recoil with the rubberized grip tape as well as the 75 round drum. And yeah, with that setup, that's going to make it to where you can play a lot better on the 6v6 maps. You don't really need an iron sight, but if you do, I've told you what I swapped around. I do think this is the best way to go, but if you do need that iron sight, you can try to sacrifice either the tac laser or the rubberized grip tape, depending on whether you want to sacrifice ADS speed or recoil control. For the next class, this is what I went ahead and took into ground war. So this has the FSS brute stock, which gives us the most bullet velocity increase and recoil control increase, which is going to be incredibly helpful for those long distance shots. Went ahead and put the canted hybrid on there, but you can go ahead and use any zoomed scope you like. You can even use a red dot or a hollow if you think you can hit those long distance shots, but I found I was trying to pick people off at long distance, and with the canted hybrid, that gave me the ability to switch to the red dot if I ever wanted to. On top of that, we have the operator foregrip for that recoil control, because once again, long distance, and the longer the distance, the greater the recoil tends to be, because the target's smaller and the bounce, you know, it's boo 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 to here, it's nothing, but to all the way over there, that bouncing can mean you're not hitting your target anymore. On top of that, I went with the 100 round belt because I did not want to be messing around. I know you could probably find places to reload, but there's so many enemies all over the place, and that 7 seconds you're out, and movement speed isn't going to be that big of a hindrance if we are sitting in the back. So I went ahead with the 100 round drums, did not look back from that, and of course rubberized grip tape for just a little bit more recoil control. And with that, I was able to fare somewhat decently at long range. The gun does still tend to jump. It tends to be a jumpy LMG. LMGs tend to be jumpy. They are more for concentrated fire at medium to long range, and medium range, I guess, than it is picking people off at long distance. But these are the two ways to play the game. Aiming for a 6v6, more turning around corners, making sure that you have the competitive ADS speed to kill your enemy, or having the least amount of recoil so you can pick people off in ground war 10v10 maps. I did mess around with some other attachments, but none of them really made any classes that actually made any sense. These two, I feel, are the way to go. Now, as far as the camo challenges for this one went, the only ones that ended up taking me a while were hip fire and mounted long shots. Normally, I take mounted long shots out fairly quickly on shoot house, but shoot house wasn't available, and when it was, I was trying to get gold with other weapons and wasn't focusing on this one. But long shots aren't hard. I could have taken care of all of the long shots in ground war, but I'm running around in ground war. I'm not mounting. I never mount. So just mounting in shoot house where everybody else is mounting on that brick wall, it just makes it so much easier. And if you have morals and backbone and integrity and you're not going to play on shoot house to get it done, ground war and carry around the deployable shield, that's one way to do it. Besides that, what took me the longest with this was hip fire. So I had to go on to shipment with 5 milliwatt laser, and what is the Merc foregrip? Is that the one that's for hip fire accuracy? And then some sprint to fire speeds, and then just ran around for a little bit. I got like 20 in one round. Yes, it's pretty cheap, but I just wasn't having fun with this gun, and the hip fire spread is not that great with it. So even on shipment, it wasn't like I was just dropping people left and right. It was still a little bit challenging. So not a great challenge for this. Headshots, crouching kills, that all came pretty easy. I didn't even really have to go out of my way to crouch with this one, so I don't know. But if you're having trouble crouching, it's just crouching. I can't imagine it'd be that hard. And besides that, that's gonna wrap this one up. Oh wait, hold on. Use that class setup, use those class setups, and you will get gold on the MG34, and depending on which LMGs you have left, could mean platinum for your LMGs like it did for me. Hurrah, hurrah, huzzah, huzzah. Wonderful day. Yeah. And that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hit the like button, smash that sub button, gently hit that notification bell. If none of my other videos are popping up in the recommended or anything like that, go ahead and just go to my channel where all of my videos are just miraculously all there for you to watch. If not, there's a playlist for all of my Modern Warfare content. And that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, peace. I'm like pointing over here and realizing my hands off screen. I pointed up at one point. Until next time, peace.